All right, my name is Father Ricardo Pineda, and I've been in religious life for almost 12 years now. And before religious life, I was studying at the University of Notre Dame in Indiana, and I was already anticipating following a call to the priesthood after graduation. So while I was there, I was studying philosophy and theology. I knew that I was going to need that. Fun things that I was able to do while at Notre Dame. I was able to play trumpet in the band of the Fighting Irish. Yes, and we went to all those football games, and 80,000 fans as you shoot out the tunnel, and yeah, so awesome. I still play trumpet from time to time on our youth events. I first felt called to the priesthood when I was 6 years old, actually. After Mass one day, the priest, he came and he introduced himself to our family, and he was shaking all our hands, and then he looks down at me and he says, "Hey, young man, have you ever thought about becoming a priest?" Now, I had never really thought about it before then, but when he asked that question, I thought, wait a minute. A priest can take bread and wine and turn it into the body and blood of Jesus Christ at Mass. I thought, hey, that's pretty awesome. I'll think about that. So I looked up and I said, yes. And I'll never forget it. He got so excited. He was like, oh, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you every day. And he saw the other priest walking. He said, hey, Father, come here. This young man, he's thinking about becoming a priest. And then they're both like, oh, we're going to pray for you. We're going to pray for you. And I'm like, whoa. And my mom told me later when we got home, maybe that's a sign. God will send you signs to let you know what he wants you to be. So I started wondering if I was called to the priesthood. But especially freshman year of high school, I felt a stronger call to the priesthood. That year I was preparing for the sacrament of confirmation. I started taking my faith even more seriously. I was praying more. And as I was reflecting on the meaning of life and the fact that we're all going to die someday and we need to be ready to go to heaven, I thought somebody needs to show people how important our faith is. And what better witness to give than to offer my life to God as a priest. I felt that zeal for souls. I want to help people get to heaven. And so that led me to believe I was called to the priesthood. I've believed it from then, ever since.
What attracted you to the Fathers of Mercy?
The religious habit, right? Can't get much better than this, right? I got this beautiful mission cross and a beautiful badge here. I do love our religious habit, but what set the Fathers of Mercy apart was the traveling mission preaching. I had discerned that I was called not only to priesthood, but also to religious life, to take the vows of poverty, chastity, obedience, and live in community. But what set the Fathers of Mercy apart from all the other communities was this traveling mission preaching. I loved the idea of traveling to so many different parishes, meeting so many different people, preaching with zeal about the truths of the faith, and help bring them to deeper conversion, deeper love of God. And the thought of hearing confessions for hours. I was told when I visited that on the missions, many times souls will come back to confession after being away from the sacraments for anywhere from 10 to 60 years. And I thought, that is so awesome. I want to be a part of that.
What do you love the most about your religious vocation to the priesthood?
I love the most the Mass and confessions. Right, celebrating Mass, celebrating the holy sacrifice of Jesus Christ for the ongoing redemption of the world, and receiving communion every day. I like to tell the young men, I touch God every single day. Right? I unite with God every single day. I taste God every single day. It doesn't get much better than that. And then the confessions, especially if a soul is feeling very unlovable or unworthy of God's love because of their sins, to be able to root out any lies of the devil, to say, no, these are lies of the devil, that I'm not lovable, that God could never forgive me, that God will never love me the same. No, God's love hasn't changed. You are still a beloved child of God, a beloved son or daughter of God. Never forget that.
What advice would you give someone discerning their vocation to religious life or the diocesan priesthood?
First of all, prayer, especially in front of the Blessed Sacrament. Jesus is there listening. Ask him what he wants you to be. Entrust your vocation to Mary, right? Daily rosary. Offer your rosary for the intention of your vocation. She will unfailingly lead you closer to her Son. Also, fighting the battle for purity, right? We need to be able to possess ourselves, have self-mastery if we're going to make a total gift of ourselves to God in religious life or priesthood. And lastly, to read Vita Consecrata. One priest told me, read Vita Consecrata, which means on the consecrated life, because that will give you a good sense of the nature of consecrated religious life, living the vows, this deeper configuration to Jesus, and that'll help discern whether I might be called to religious priesthood or diocesan. So if you think you might be called to the Fathers of Mercy, to a traveling mission preaching apostolate with both priesthood and the consecrated life, hey, we're waiting for you. We need more good men.